Okay, let's try this. So Tory MP Ben Bradley, 28 years old, not that that's vitally important, but he was appointed vice chair of the Conservative Party by the Prime Minister a few days ago in a whole big reshuffling thing. And he's basically tasked with reconnecting young people to the Conservative Party, the new recruits and everything. It's actually a fairly important job. Let's face it, unless you get new Conservatives or new Labour parties, new Green Party members, unless you get these new people into your party's just gonna fade away, shrink, because nothing new is being done, and the future will always belong to the younger generations. So it's an important position, not one to be mocked at, not one to be taken lightly. But he's on record as saying jobless people should be giving vasectomies. Why? Well, because he doesn't want wasters to flood the country. That's right. He thinks that if you are unemployed for whatever reason, you are a waster. This represents the Tory mentality and the Conservative Party thoughts on everyone around the country. If you don't work, it's your fault. Which is why Esther McVeigh is in charge of the DWP. Because clearly, if you're unemployed, it is your fault. 100%. It's nothing at all to do with, I don't know, massive firms going bankrupt because the government just kept giving them money even though that they were a complete write-off. It isn't that we've sold off public services left, right and centre and given them massive tax breaks for shareholders and CEOs just to take that money and not actually invest in anything. But it doesn't stop there. On top of that, there was also a story out about a shameless Tory MP who has managed to rack up an eye-watering £1.1 million in expenses in the last 7 years and has attempted to claim back a generous £50 donation to her local care home. Now, this is Conservative MP Harriett Baldwin. So, if I give to charity, does that mean that I can also claim that back from the government? I mean, I've still given them the money. So surely that should apply for me as well, and anyone else who gives to charity. But 50 quid. She claimed back 50 quid because she gave it to charity. She might as well have just taken it from your own bloody wallets. There is a huge issue in this country when it comes to austerity, and there seems to be this misunderstanding when it comes to why the poor have so little money. And it's not because they're wasters, layabouts that don't want to work. It's because opportunities are cut away. If you give money to the rich and exclusively the rich, the poor, the middle class, the working class will suffer endlessly. If you want to spur growth in any country, you do it on a smaller, localized level. So if you're going to lead this country into a massive boom of greatness, then giving a load of money to Alan Sugar isn't going to do that. But by putting a few extra million into a small town, into two small towns, that is going to do it. If you have more money in your pocket, you're more likely to spend it. Whereas if you're as rich as Alan Sugar, what really are you going to buy next? Yes, you might invest in some other business, maybe, but then like Alan Sugar and like a lot of massive millionaires, multi-millionaires and conservatives, that money isn't staying in the UK, it's going offshore. Now, I don't begrudge anyone for making money, but I do begrudge people for the idea that giving the rich more money will help the country. We've seen it time and time again. This bizarre notion of trickle-down economics just does not work. And it's not only failed here, it's failed everywhere that it's been implemented. Trickle-down economics leads to nothing but austerity and an appalling class system.